Anywho, let's put this over here. Anywho, hello everyone, we're back. Well. What do you know? For 188, I believe, 188, 8th episode. Let me double check here just to make sure. Don't wanna mess up on those, but yes. Okay, we are indeed on 188th episode of the Hypecast. Welcome back, everyone. I hope everyone's been doing well. Hosted by yours truly, John, aka Hawk525, with Zawa drinking, I believe, Pepsi, as always.
Yep.
Yes.
Gotta have these 3 cans into my system every day.
Oh god. I feel like I can barely do one nowadays. Like not even a day. It's like one like a week ish, because it's just so sweet.
I don't know. I think
go ahead.
out of all the sodas I've drank, for like the taste of like Pepsi and Coke,
I
think RC Cola is like the sweeter out of the 3. I don't know. I think.
I mean that makes sense because
they might be dead.
I feel like that makes sense because they have to make up for the lack of like that formula they have, you know, so they just put more sugar. Yeah. When in doubt, put more sugar. But I've always been a Coke kind of guy. I'm a Coca-Cola kind of guy. That's just me.
He likes the cocaine.
Cocaine. Yeah, Coca-Cola. That's like my go-to when it comes to colas. I've had other colas, like RC and like Pepsi, of course, and I've had a Japanese cola somewhere. I mean, besides Japan, of course, but somewhere. It was like in like one of the like Japanese markets we have here. I've had that a long time ago. A little separate, but I've had the cola, like the cola gum or whatever, the cola flavored gum when I was a kid. Yeah.
What about the cola gummies?
I have not. I have not had. Yeah. Well, it's not really a gum. It's more just like a chewable candy kind of thing. It kind of feels like gum. It's like a weird cross between a gum and a chewable. It's Japanese, of course, and it even has like a bit of a fizzy thing in there too, which is kind of weird. I guess it's like Pop Rocks or something. I don't know, but like it's got that fizz when you put it in your mouth and whatever. But yeah, when it comes to cola flavored things, yeah. That's a bit of my experience, I guess. But anyway, how's your week been? Briefly.
Good. Tried to escape from work yesterday.
Yes, I kind of saw that.
Yeah, you saw that tweet.
I saw the tweet.
Okay, to make context, so in my job position, every week we are supposed to make like credit. So you open a new credit card for a new customer, so old customers that don't have the credit card line. So I made like a big sale for one of our big clients.
Nice.
And I looked at my boss and going like, "Yeah, I made this big sale. Pretty much did my week's quota in one fell swoop. Can I go home now?" And she's like, "Oh, that's nice. Fine.
Yeah.
You can go home if you can open a credit." It's like in my head, I was like, "Okay, watch me." 10 minutes later, because there's a form when it prints out, like if they got accepted or not, and it counts if they don't get accepted as opening a credit. So I was like, "Here you go." Like on her desk, I just there, I'm gone. And I'm about to walk towards the punch out machine. She's like, "The fuck you ain't?" I was like, but our deal. And she's like, "Where's the rented contract?" I was like, "Ah." I was like, "Ah."
Yeah, you gotta work all the way to the clock, man. You can't make deals and stuff like that. That ain't how it works.
I was like, can I have an extra 15? And she's like, yes, you may. Thank you. Just walked out, like, all defeated. Like, at least I got my 15.
Mm-hmm.
Then all my coworkers are like at their desk. So, going home early, right? Like, shut up. Don't talk to me. I'm sad.
That's funny.
So that was work.
Uh-huh.
That was work. Before we started this podcast, I jumped into Apex.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That kind of explains.
Too much try hards, I guess.
Yeah,
right
so
now.
too many sweaties. Yeah, too many sweaties in there.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
Spitties nerf buff, whatever you want to call it, is
Burf.
okay.
Yeah, burf.
I don't mind it not being able to equip a barrel mod. Goes.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah, that's the one thing I noticed. Yeah, it's not like it's a crazy recoil anyway. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's a biggie. Anyway, anything else? Anything else happen? I don't know, from Apex or whatever. Or
No, that's pretty much it.
oh, okay.
Just now waiting for video games to be released.
Yeah, seriously, right? For me, I think the new Pokemon card set should be coming out either next week or the week after that. But it's around the corner for me, so I'm waiting on that at this point. I'm ready to once again ship out my bulk and stuff like that for extra little cash, so I can get Pokemon cards with Pokemon cards, if that makes sense. But anyway, it's like a self-perpetuating hobby, maintenance hobby kinda ish. But anyway, so I'm kind of waiting on that at this point. But yeah, pretty much like there has been nothing else. I don't know if I said this already, but I think I said this already, but I bought Monster Hunter Rise on PC, but I haven't touched it yet. And then I'm like talking to Faka about like PC mods and like how easy it is and stuff like that. So I'm kind of getting there, but you know, probably should get that going at this point. But whatever, it'll happen at some point. And then when it comes to playing games, of course, Genshin Impact. But then which I will actually bring up later on. But what is it? Oh yeah, Apex Legends. Been playing that for a little bit here and there. Not right now. I'm not trying to go too hard on it because I like to kind of go back and forth with stuff. And then oh yeah, the other game I've been playing sort of was Switch Sports, because there's really nothing else to play, like new games wise. So I've been playing that. I noticed that the costumes, at least it might be out now, but the new costume pack or whatever has like furry stuff in it. Like you can like have your skin you can have like a fox skin or something like that. I don't know what it is. It's like it looks like a fox like thing, like a purple fox. It was on Nintendo's Twitter. I'm like, wait, is this fake? And I looked at it. I'm like, oh, it's actually real. Like you can get a furry costume in Switch Sports. So like all the replies were like, oh, here come the furries. Oh, you know, the furries are whatever, right? And so I thought that was fun. I thought that was kind of funny because I did not think they would do that. Like I thought they would just do like more like generic sports costumes, you know, like, oh, you can get this hoodie, oh, you get the beanie, oh, you get this cool goggles, or I don't know. But anyway, but a fox skin, not you know, not like Fox from Star Fox, but you know, just a generic colorful fox looking skin, which is very odd. I would think they would do Nintendo collaborations later on, but we'll see about how, I guess, Switch Sports goes on as time passes and whatever. Other than that, There's one more thing I think. Oh, next week next week is Sonic 2 coming out on Paramount Plus or Paramount Plus and like all the other like streaming services, whatever, and like coming out on digital and stuff like that. So I cannot wait to see that. You know, I've been waiting since it came out in theaters in February. So yeah, I been looking forward to watching that movie. Although there has been a lot of spoilers, but I haven't like look at them, so I'm going like, oh, gotta scroll by, gotta keep scrolling, gotta hit not interested in this tweet. You know, I try to just block any spoilers as much as I can. So yeah, can't wait to see that movie. And then I think that's pretty much it for like major stuff for me anyway. Yeah, and you know, my week has been pretty decent. At least to say. It's a lot of waiting, honestly, for me. A lot of waiting, you know, because like you said, there's no games or whatever. I'm just waiting for the new Pokemon card set. I'm waiting for the Sonic movie to come out on streaming, and then yeah. Anyway, so that's pretty much it for our weeks. So. We do have stuff to talk about for fighting games, so that's pretty cool, pretty awesome. So also later on, we'll be talking about a little bit of Genshin. We'll be talking about a little bit of Apex, a little bit of here and there, or this and that, and all that in between. So let's get into the news. I don't really say like da 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 da.
We just need to stack up papers now. It's like,
yeah, I know, right? Kind of felt like a little bit of Keemstar. Let's get into the news, or you know, that sort of thing. But anyway, let's get into it. So, Team Southtown. I know they're out now at this point. Sadly, I have not touched Yamazaki just yet, but I've seen some cool stuff from Yamazaki. But let's check out the trailers as per tradition. So I think this is the correct link, hopefully.
And it's the wrong type of link. It's like, oh, huh,
I know, right? Oh, this is their bonus costume tweet, which is actually kind of cool. They have their old outfits for Team Southtown. I think this is the tweet that leads to the YouTube video. Okay, so here's the video. Oops, there we go. Oh, that's pretty loud. There we go.
Team Southtown! Bring it, Tom. Billy Kanye.
And that's Billy Kanye.
Yeah, Kanye, yeah. Pretty much. Oh, there you go. Camo!
God, I think this pole is a tri-staff.
Yeah, I forget that it does that.
Yeah, there was like some points in his attacks it like separated.
Yeah. Yamazaki.
Yeah.
Horse got geese.
You cannot
You mean
escape
goose?
from death.
That's so cool. Oh, look at that. He does Replican faster. It's so weird to hear him speak Japanese. at times. Because I'm so used to him speaking English. Unacceptable.
I want to hear Geese like in that line when Rock was like say, "You abandoned my mother."
Yeah.
Geese just turns and goes like, "Who are you?"
Yeah. That'd be so fucked.
You'd be like, "You know how many women I've been with? You gotta be more specific." Okay.
Yeah. Yep, extra costumes.
Team extra costumes.
Yeah, that was the actual name.
It's like, wait, what?
Yep. So they're out now, definitely, and then there's still 2 more teams. We gotta remember that. One for summer and one for the fall.
Come on.
Come on, no, I don't want.
Yeah. But yeah, from what I've been seeing, word on the street is that Yamazaki is pretty good. He's not like crazy good or anything like that, but he's pretty good. One of the only weaknesses that I noticed is that you can't use his whip hand in neutral because you actually get punished even on hit. Like there's actually videos of him getting punished even on hit, like, which is kind of stupid to me, but maybe that might have been a thing for Yamazaki in the past, so I don't know. But that's, to me, it's kind of dumb to get punished even though you made a hit, you know what I mean, with the whip hand. So what you could do right now with the whip hand is just using it mid combo or like in a juggle, or maybe anti-air. So that's the only thing you could do for right now. Maybe they'll fix it like to where you can't combo from a whip hand, but you could just use it neutral. You know, I think that'd be pretty reasonable, unless they don't want him to be a zoner. Maybe that's why they made it that way. But other than that, we kind of saw a little bit of it from Max's footage or Max's stream. He gains a lot of meter back for a guy like, you know, for Yamazaki. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't think he'd be like a battery for himself, at least, or for the team. So I feel like he could be a good point character or a mid character. Not necessarily for anchor, but he could be an anchor, I guess, as well. But I think he shines a little more as a mid or point character. Maybe mid, but I don't think point would be too bad for him. But anyway, I think he's solid all around from what I've been seeing. I have not yet to like lab with him, but I've seen some cool stuff with him. So glad to see that he isn't so bad. Unfortunately, Billy Kane isn't quite like that, unfortunately. I think he's like the worst of the bunch. He's kind of like more towards the bottom. So like I don't think he offers too much for the most part from what I've been hearing. But Geese, though, I hear Geese that is gonna be scary potentially, especially when he's like the anchor. So yeah, that's all I know. But that's yeah. I think that's typical Geese. I think he's always been pretty solid. Maybe not the craziest character, but he's kind of up there, especially with the tools he has. But when it comes to the patch, that was like the big one because, like, you know, a lot of people have been waiting for this patch because certain characters are really crazy good. So Ralph got a little nerfed with his kick and stuff like that because he was really good in the beginning. Vanessa is still kind of Vanessa-ish, but they just made her a little less stupid. But other than that, when it comes to like other big stuff, they nerfed a lot of people's jump-ins and stuff like that because it was like really strong. But I guess they like lower their hurt box or something like that. They like move the hurt box around so that way you can anti-air them a little easier. So I think that's a pretty universal nerf for everyone. King of Dinosaurs, I think, got a little better, but I don't think he's still crazy by any means. But I guess he got buffs for the most part. I don't think he got nerfed at all. I think Ramon is still Ramon, unfortunately, because he's pretty bad from what I've been hearing. And then I mean, unless you really know how to use him, but I think he's just like a gatekeeper for people who don't know how to fight Ramona, or don't know how to play the game as well. But other than that, yeah, he's, I think, still the worst character out there. And then yeah, some of the patches aren't too crazy for like each character or most characters. I think they just kind of like did a little bit of tweaking here and there for most of them. So I don't remember off the top of my head who's like the biggest, who got the biggest win out of this whole patch. Have you heard anything, Zawa, or not so much?
The biggest winner of this patch is you guys.
Yeah, the SNK players, of course. Yeah. Unfortunately, though, there needs to be other fixes besides the characters, like the matchmaking on PC. I heard the matchmaking on PC is like really bad, unfortunately, which is why that's kind of like holding people back from like really playing it. Unless you're like insane like SNK fans, I guess, then like I guess they could like tolerate it. But other than that, playing on console is the way, I guess, when it comes to online stuff, online matches. And I think there was like there are other patches for like the menu and stuff like that. I know I think there's something with the visual, like the optimization or something like that, to try to alleviate with crashes, but I don't know if that worked or not. But yeah, I mean, it was a pretty big patch, I guess, for the SNK fans, and that is pretty much all there is to it. So, you know, I haven't played like all the characters to like purposely, you know, check out the patch notes or whatever, but you know, it is what it is. I mean, new characters came out, we got a new patch and stuff like that. I mean, there is a bit of a life injected into the game again, so a little bit of a refresher. So there's still some reason to get into or stick with 15 to, like, you know, check out all the things that the characters receive, Yamazaki, Geese, and Billy Kane, and all that. So when it comes to upcoming stuff, I don't think Combo Breaker will be the place to see new characters. I think they're gonna save that for Evo, which makes more sense because there's a lot of eyes on Evo this time around, from what I've been hearing anyway. So that would make sense. But hey, I mean, if they do it on Combo Breaker, I won't be opposed to that. I think it'll be a good time either way. It makes sense. I mean, because fighting game people have their eyes on Combo Breaker as well. Yeah, other than that, I mean, glad to see Yamazaki in there. I will try to give him a test drive, but yeah, we'll see about that. I'm just glad that he's in the roster. So, and you know, he's got the fur coat and everything. So, I mean, and he can take it off too. I mean, depending on what costume you pick. So, actually, kind of cool. But yeah, anyway, let me see. Now, I would like to do a comparison video, but we got 3 characters, so it'll probably take up too much time. So yeah, I think we'll probably skip it for this time around. Maybe for another time. I don't know. We'll see. But all I can say is, die, maggot.
No, that's me.
Hey man, go tell that to Geese. Oh, one thing I do want to bring up too with Yamazaki is that he has a super where you know he can like kind of like hit the button to like charge it up, and then he like does like different poses, like he like gets more crazy and stuff like that.
Yep.
The more you charge it, he does like different attacks or whatever. Oh, and of course when you do the maximum charge, he does the 100 hand slap type of attack, just like you saw in the trailer. But I think the one before it is his, of course, is maybe his second most powerful, but or maybe they do all the same damage or something. It's just like a visual bonus, I guess. But I could be wrong. Anyway, I think his second to last charge or whatever has him like literally taking any piece of furniture and just throw it down on his opponent. So it's like random too. So sometimes he grabs like a sign, sometimes he grabs like I don't know, some sort of like couch or something, and like and then even one of them has him swing a fish, like a big tuna fish, like down on his opponent, which is actually really funny. I think it's on somewhere on like YouTube or whatever. Yamazaki KOFXV. It might be in there. Hold on. Maybe like super or something. It could be this one. We'll check it out. Oh, it's all Team Southtown. Never mind. Let's skip to Yamazaki then. That's Billy Kane, I think, right? There. That's the first charge. Second charge. Oh, third. There you go. Boom. That's one. I wonder if he'll do it again. Oh, never mind. That's the final one. Okay, never mind. Dang it. I saw it on Twitter. Oh, there you go. There you go. Different animation. Okay, there you go. That could be it. Oh, never mind. Oh, he does a stomp though. Level 1. That's one. Oh yeah, see, now he grabbed a different piece of furniture. It's pretty fast, but you can kind of see it. Oh dang, he only did like two of them.
This person sucks. They're giving us good shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's on. I guess it's on Twitter.
Not giving us what we want.
I know. Oh, I think it's this one. Poor Mai. Yeah, there's a sign. Oh, is it the chair? Yep, different sign. A statue. A giant cone.
What do you mean? Oh, poor Mai. She's used to this.
She's used to this? Oh, man. Yeah, there's a tuna fish. Hold on. Yeah, there's a giant tuna fish.
I mean, those things are not small.
Yeah, they're huge. Is it like frozen? Oh, it is frozen. Yeah, it's so funny.
But when you see it like on the early morning auctions in Japan.
Oh yeah, the fresh fish market.
Those things are huge. And like, it's like, how much does this cost? $500,000. What?
Dude, they're like thousands of dollars. Yeah, it's like that's like gold.
Don't underestimate Japan's spending. Because what was it, like the top 2 most expensive things in Japan is fish and fruits, right?
I think it depends, but maybe.
Well, for the fruits, it depends on the season. But
Yeah,
in
definitely,
general, like,
definitely on the season and the harvest and stuff like that. Yeah. Well,
I know,
fish,
like,
yes.
melon,
Yeah.
melon, and
Was it
it's
meat?
honeydew.
Mm.
It's honeydew and melon. I know it's like
Oh
always
yeah,
expensive.
Amongst fruits, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a fucking melon for like $100. It's like, damn, dude. I mean, it is good. I mean, I think I had a piece of it at my grandparents' house like a long time ago. It is good, but damn, $100.
I know the square watermelon is like, how much is in your wallet? Why? Thank you.
Yeah, I've had the yellow watermelon, which is kind of different, but it's like a good watermelon basically. It's like sweet, super fruity, flavorful, obviously, but yeah, it's so, like, I mean, American fruits, man, they pale in comparison to Japanese fruits. Like, I'm gonna say it because the soil quality in Japan is very dense. It's very nutrition dense because of the amount of volcanoes they have. Like, it pumps up the soil with nitrogen. So that's why a lot of fruits just have a better harvest. So that's why well, it's not just fruit. It's just like vegetables, grains, anything that comes from the soil. It's like really good. And then that also means too, for the cows and chickens and stuff like that, they get better feed quality. So, and then when they have better feed, yeah, chickens, yeah, especially chickens.
You know, the chicken eggs. Holy crap!
Oh yeah, like they're like super
American eggs. We suck.
Yeah,
We suck.
yeah. But yeah, it's like, yeah, I don't know what it is about American stuff in comparison to Japanese, like food or agriculture, but like, yeah, I don't know, like America is like so big, right? They have so much land, but I don't know, man. The results just don't really compare as much. I don't know. I guess we just don't have enough volcanoes around here, so. But when we do, it's like, I don't know, you would think we'd better utilize them, like the volcanic soil or whatever, like volcanic ashes, to try to use them for, like, farming, agriculture, whatever. But I don't know, I guess it just goes to somewhere else, or not used at all. But anyway, very off topic.
Now I want chicken. I want raw egg over rice now.
Oh yeah. That's a very Japan in Japan kind of thing, I should say. I think, like, yeah, because like Japanese Americans are like pretty different in certain ways. Like I noticed that, like, they eat everything. They try to eat everything with chopsticks, including fried rice. I'm like, bro, we use spoons in Japan, man. Like, you just use a spoon.
I mean, same thing with like curry. Like, some
Yeah.
people use forks. And I'm like, spoon.
Yeah, dude, like in Japan we use spoons too. Like, it's okay. Like, you don't have to be that traditional. Like, damn, like, that's some like 1950s Japanese tradition, like, or pre World War II stuff. Like people using chopsticks for everything, right? That's like, well, I mean, that's because that's where the generation came from, right? So
yeah,
you have Japanese Americans during that time coming to here, and that's all they know. That's all they know. That's what they know growing up. So that's why they keep using the chopsticks for almost everything, pretty much. It's so funny. I still have neighbors, Japanese American neighbors, who kind of still do that. Like, well, not like recently, but like a while back, like before the pandemic and stuff like that. I like kind of visit. I like cross the street and then visit them, and when they have fried rice for dinner, they bust out the chopsticks. I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, I just think it's so funny. Very different for sure.
I just look at you, everyone, because I've grown up like learning Japanese style of eating, American style eating, Filipino style eating, and the like. And it's like not a reaction, but not subconscious. Like I just do it, like without thinking. Like I can't. It's like, oh shit, I can't find a fork or a chopstick. I'll just eat with my hands, and I'm doing that at restaurants, like out of nowhere.
Oh yeah, eating with your hands. Yeah, I've told you in the past. I used to work at a Hawaiian restaurant, and the head chef or store manager, has always told me like, oh yeah, we use our hands, man. Just use your hands to eat. I'm like, I'll just use some utensils, thanks. Yeah.
It's like, nah, bro.
Yeah. He's like Pacific Islands, so yeah, you know, he's got that.
Yep.
Yeah.
That would do it.
Yeah. I think he's yeah.
Oh,
I think he's Filipino, so yeah, or mostly Filipino for the most part. But anyway, yeah. Anyway.
Yep.
Oh man, it's funny though. It's funny of how like culture sort of works at times.
Yep.
Yeah.
The difference of cultures.
Differences of culture. I think it's always fun to kind of make comparisons. All right. Anywho, that's
Team Southtown. They look good.
Yep. Team Southtown. They're out, and yeah, I think they're pretty good for the most part. Well, at least two out of three anyway.
Manage your credit card account. Sir, what are you buying?
Wait, what?
There was like a flash saying, manage your credit card account. And I was like,
manage your credit card account?
Yeah. Oh, you'll see it in the play backlog. When you edit this, you're going to see like a brief
on
your screen to show like manage your credit card account. I was like,
credit card account? There's nothing like that would ask for my credit card account. Uh-oh. Am I getting hacked or something? I don't know. Because I didn't hit anything that would like, is it this? Is it that? I don't know. Oh, Facebook?
This is funny. It's like, sir, your credit card got a, you get those fake messages.
Yeah.
Call now for your credit card being.
That's really weird. Yeah, it's actually really weird.
It's like, haha, joke's on you. I don't have a credit card. I never been able to get an approval for a credit card for the last 10 years.
Oh, it might be. Oh, it might be for it might have been for Google Drive. That's the only thing I can think of that would ask for a credit card thing, because they have a monthly plan to like up the storage. Maybe that's what happened. I think like the mouse like hovered over the thing, whatever. Maybe, I don't know. All right, anyway, let's get a move on here. We've talked about it long enough with all the tangents. Meanwhile, Nick All Stars is still getting stuff. Just want to briefly go over this, including new characters, and the new characters is some around. They've been out, or they're going to be out at some point. Well, with Jenny, it looks like she's out now. But with Hugh, aka Jimmy's dad from Jimmy Neutron, is going to be out for this summer, and then Rocco from Rocco's Modern Life is coming this fall. So finally, we get Rocco. I mean, he's one of the Nickelodeon characters, right? I mean, definitely remember watching him when I was little. And actually, I think that's the first time I've seen a nosebleed in a cartoon, because I remember Heifer was like in the backseat of a car or something, and then all of a sudden he had a nosebleed. Like, oh crap, like my nose is bleeding or something like that. I forget what the context was. He had a nosebleed. I was like, oh shit. I'm like, wow, I did not expect to see that in a cartoon. But yeah, that's like my first ever cartoon nosebleed, I guess, in Rocco's Modern Life. Although then again, that show is like pretty crazy. I mean, because remember Mrs. Bighead, man? She had a thing for Rocco. Dude, it's a fucking affair. Like, you know what I mean? You have an
I
affair.
don't know. Remember, there was the doctor too, Doctor
Oh.
Benova.
So and then there's like I don't know if it's racism or whatever or prejudice, but like remember there was the thing with between yeah, I think it was her because Bendover had the hook, right? She had the hook for the hand. Well, it's she has a hand, but she's holding a hook for no reason. But like so it looks like she's a cripple, but she's not a cripple. But whatever. She was in love with the turtle. What was his name? Like Phil or something like that. I forget what it was. But then there was but there was always some sort of like rivalry between the cats and the turtles or something like that. So that's like their like social commentary on like racism, or whatever. So they always like fight each other. And then the turtle and the doctor, they married, right? But then even still, the two families still like fought each other, and they're like, "Oh, we got married, yay, yada yada yada, whatever." And then they go into the plane, and then there was the crocodile singer who sings, you know, "Come crawl with me," you know, that's that part. Like it's all coming back to me, man. Oh man, so many memories with Rocco.
I don't know. That show got away with a lot of things.
It did get away with a lot of things. My goodness.
Oh baby, oh baby, oh baby.
Yeah.
Oh,
Is it like?
it's his big head.
Yeah, it's not like that's is that like a phone sex? Like
Yeah, it was the sex hotline.
yeah, the sex
Or something
hotline.
like that.
Oh man, that.
What was more funny, there was like the little script,
Mm-hmm.
like what to say.
Yeah.
I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a kid, you didn't know shit.
Yeah.
but when
You don't
kind of,
realize
like,
it.
dive back into it nowadays, it's like, oh,
Yeah, I know, right?
I'm a sweet summer child.
Yeah. It makes me want to go back to Rocco and watch it now, like at this age, like to see all the like little subtle like stuff you like really missed out as a kid. But yeah, I just remember like a lot of things from Rocco's Modern Life. And of course, Mr. Big Head, and then it was Mr. Big Head's boss, who was like a lizard with like orange hair, I think. I think he was like balding too, so it's like a typical like boss. Of course, they always go to that like fried chicken place, so it's like a parody of like KFC basically. Of course, Rocco's dog, I think it was Spunky. I think that was his name. Yeah, but yeah, there's just a lot of stuff from that show that I can kind of pick out and choose like bits of memories and stuff like that. When it comes to Hugh, or Jimmy's dad, he's like a meme basically, especially over the years. That's why that was kind of sort of the craze. Jenny, I didn't watch too much of what was that show? My Teenage Life as a Robot or something like that. I think that's what it's called. Have you watched the show with her in it? With Jenny, whatever.
I have, but my mind has no memory of it. Like it's like
very
I have,
Yeah.
but I don't know if I have.
It's not. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's so bad. Like
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I think I saw you. I don't think I saw you.
I know
but
I watched I know I watched the show, but I can't pick out scenes from that show like I have with Rocco. So I mean, I didn't watch it as much. I know I know it exists. It's just I don't really like have an attachment, I guess is the better word for it, like I do with Rocco. Yeah, I think Jimmy Neutron is kind of in between. I remember watching Jimmy Neutron like a good amount of times. I remember Jimmy Neutron used to be like a short. Like I think it used to be like a Nicktoons short thing, and then they just like made it into a big like a actual full show like series. And of course, it spawned a lot of memes later on, like kind of like SpongeBob almost, but kind of different flavor. But yeah, it is what it is. I think it's a pretty good cool choice for those three. Yeah, Two of them are definitely memorable. And then one is like female or whatever. Robot Girl and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sure there are a number of people that watched that show with the Robot Girl. So, let me see if anyone has the title for the show that I'm kind of missing here. Probably not, but anyway, there's like a lot of weird replies that have nothing to do with Nickelodeon All Star. But anyway, the game is still alive, I guess, in those terms. But meanwhile, I mean, I guess I'll bring up Multiverse now because it's a Smash clone-ish. And did you see the video or the what do you call the cinematic trailer? Otherwise, we'll just
I want to say yes.
Multiversus.
Let's do it again.
Yeah.
My memory is gone.
Yeah. Okay, it's pretty loud. A lot of these trailers are pretty loud.
Strange energy signature detected. Computer, what's my location?
Kevin Conroy, man.
Hey, dude, what's going on here?
Where am I?
What's up, Doc?
Look out!
Hey!
Whoa! Zoinks! What'd I do to you?
Here comes Hawk's favorite meme.
Oh God. Memes are power. I'll give him that.
Not cool.
Steven Universe.
You all right?
You bet your time.
Just messed up how that thing tornadoed.
You are the cutest little guy. Calling you Slobber, because you look like your name might be Slobber. You're gonna pay for attacking Slobber.
We have like Air Strong,
Superman's voice actor.
Look out below!
Jim Cummings as
Yeah.
I don't know if this is actually.
I don't know what's happening here, but this looks like a job for.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I was actually really excited.
All right then, you're with me.
Sad that's not Vin Diesel.
It's not Vin Diesel.
All right.
It's not a bad voice, definitely.
No.
Oh wait, when's the open beta? Let me see. I think it's a July. Yeah, it's July. This coming July, of course. Free to play.
I don't think that's Miss Williams. I say Williams for Arya Stark. I don't think that's her. It might be her because I.
Oh no, I think it is. It is the actress for Stark. I think.
I saw. I can't find it now. A Twitter post of like Velma's down B, and it was labeled "Call the Cops," and I was like, "Why? Why? Explain, movie."
So there actually is a couple more characters revealed in the trailer itself. So Velma is definitely one of them, along with Harley Quinn. I don't think we've seen Harley Quinn anywhere else except here. But I think she was like kind of like hinted that she was gonna be in there. I forget. Anyway, of course, literally the biggest one of them all is Iron Giant, of course. I wonder how big he's going to be in game. Like, is it just
They're
going to be a
tone it
little?
down. They're gonna tone it down like how they did with Ridley.
Yeah, huh?
This character's too big.
Too big. Yeah, yeah.
There you guys go.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I really it's just as big as Bowser, right? So I don't think it's a big deal. But
Bowser.
yeah. But Iron Giant, I think I'm gonna try to main him because I like Iron Giant. Big robots, you know, that sort of thing. Anyone else? You knew? Not really, right? I think it just. Oh no, Taz. Yeah, Taz is another new one that was revealed for this trailer. And in fact, if you go over to the Twitter account, we can definitely find out like all the voice actors and stuff like that for the new characters at least. So there's a trailer. Should be down here somewhere. Yeah, there's the closed alphas for some people. Smash players showing off the game, of course. Okay, so we have Jonathan Lepau as Iron Giant. Not a bad take on that. Jen Cummings, like you said, is Taz. And I think that's the
Well, she's the recent Velma voice actress.
right.
Yay.
Yeah. Is she? Wait. No, I think that's a different actress. Yeah. I was about to say, like, is she the same person from the movies, the live action movies?
No, the live action movies by James Gunn, which again I can't believe that some of those lines were written by him.
Yeah.
Like when you go back to that movie, it's like Jesus Christ, how are you able to get away with this?
Right. So I'm not too familiar with this actress, other than voicing the recent Velma. I think. Well, I mean, we can pretty much look her up. I think. Micucci? Is that how you say it? Kate Micucci? It could be like a Italian sort of name. It is Micucci. Oh wow, oh wow, I pronounced it right. Cause look at the official pronunciation, Micucci. Okay. Let's look up the stuff for her.
Have you ever watched Big Bang Theory or?
No.
Okay.
Oh, she's in Big Bang.
DuckTales.
Okay.
Then it was DuckTales.
Oh, okay. Oh wow, Jane Silent Bob. Well, for the reboot at least, and then when it comes to live action movies, let's see. A lot of short films, so not too big of a spotlight for right now. But when it comes to voice acting, or TV stuff, let's just say, Key and Peele. Let's try to find. Oh, Malcolm in the Middle. Oh wow. Okay, How I Met Your Mother. Yeah, she's more of a TV star. Or in the House, Scrubs, Rules of Engagement, Big Bang Theory. Okay. Let's see, anything else? Will and Grace, I guess. Supergirl. Yeah, a lot of TV stuff for sure. Oh, she was in Planes, Rio 2, Lego Scooby-Doo and WWE, because, yeah, all the Velma stuff, and then that is pretty much it, yeah. Oh, and then there, oh, wait, what? She was Clayface in the Lego Batman movie? Oh, wow. I don't remember that. Okay, well, other than that, yeah, it's, Velma stuff. Oh wow, Velma made a crossover to Teen Titans, but I get that makes sense. A lot of Cartoon Network stuff, that's for sure. But yeah, anyway. She has some stuff under her belt. Let's go back for a moment. I do want to check out Jonathan Lipo or Lipao. See what he has. Superman. Oh, did he do Star Wars stuff? Okay, that's a hint already. I'll just do this one. I think it's a much clearer guide on what he did what. Okay, so obviously Iron Giant, Adam's Family. Okay, as Gomez. Okay. Star Wars Visions, Star Wars Bad Batch, Dragon's Blood. Oh, Dota, Dragon's Blood. Oh wow, he was this character from Hyrule Warriors. Okay, he had something in Miles Morales. He was Unicron. Monsieur Mala for Doom Patrol. A lot of Star Wars stuff. Yeah, he does a lot of like creatures and like animal and non-human roles, that's for sure. Oh, he was the Hulk in Incredible Hulk, okay. Oh wow, he did Fire Leo and Beautiful Joe. That's really cool. Robot Chicken. That's pretty funny. Yeah. And I think we all know Jim Cummings. So, but glad to see him as the old Taz. But I'm all for it. I like Taz. Makes sense for him to be in a platform fighter. Yeah, I feel like Taz is gonna be like one of those like brain dead characters because you just hit tornado and just it's kind of like Meta Knight. What if he becomes Meta Knight? Yeah, just spins. Just spamming B. I think it was. Spam B. It does tornado. So yeah, we got new characters revealed. Pretty cool. I'm gonna try to main Iron Giant. We'll see how he turns out. It's so funny though because like, you know, Iron Giant, the whole point of Iron Giant is just for him to learn not to fight, even though he's a killing machine. But it looks like Hogarth's work was in vain because he's fighting, I guess. I don't know, maybe there's some context behind it or something, but it's fucking multiverses. A lot of logic kind of gets thrown out of the window for those things. But hey, that's the roster for right now. I wonder how Velma would do, because Velma is like doesn't have Ultra Instinct meme power going on like Shaggy. Probably kind of just has like a different assortment of attacks, I guess, including Call the Cops. But any comments you want to throw in there for any of this stuff?
They have to dive deeper into WB's IP.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see like.
Oh yeah. Well, who do you want to see for now? Like, pretty sure we talked about this before, but who do you want to see? I'm sure Harry Potter will make it in there one way or the other because we got Stark in there. So live action characters aren't really out of the picture. Harry Potter is definitely a possible one. We'll probably, at the most, I think we'll probably see what do you call the trio? Like, you know, we got Harry Potter, Ron Weasley, and Hermione. And then maybe oh, what?
Bring in Mr. Ted Turner's baby. Dan Prada. And it's gonna be a fuck, what's his name? It's War Machine from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The actor's name is
Don Cheadle.
Yeah, it's Don Cheadle's.
Oh, Don Cheadle. I wonder it no like yeah, it has to just be John Cheadle, like no for no reason, just Don Cheadle. But you know what though? Speaking of real people, I've said it before. I remember saying this, but I feel I would not be surprised if they put LeBron James in there, because technically I think he has some sort of like deal going on with WB, hence why or how Space Jam 2 was made in the first place. So I think they could use that agreement sort of to bring him into Multiversus, possibly. So I would not be surprised if that happened. But yeah, like you gotta think of like all the possibilities, right? Like Clockwork Orange could happen. Of course, the Batman villains, right? Joker, Penguin, Two-Face, Clayface. That's just Batman alone, right? I mean, and then you have Superman villains, including Lex Luthor, right? General Zod, blah blah blah. And then you can have Doomsday, you can have Darkseid, you know. That's and then trying to like think of like all the obscure ones. Oh yeah, Neo, of course, Neo Anderson from Matrix, Morpheus, Trinity, Agent Smith, of course. Gotta have those. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention Dumbledore from Harry Potter, right? That could be a possible one. And then we don't speak of his name, you know, that whole lore. Fuck, it was actually on the tip of my tongue. What was his name again? The big villain from Harry Potter.
Voldemort.
Voldemort, thank you. Maybe Malfoy.
Or I'm sorry, not Voldemort. His name is Tom Riddle.
Oh yeah, Tom Riddle. Spoilers, but you know it's been a long time.
Spoilers. Looking 20 years in the making.
Yeah, 20 years. Yeah. Yeah. It's oh man, that's such a weird thing to say. It's an old movie. It is a kind of old movie. Yeah. But whatchamacall? Anyone else you can think of? Oh, maybe. Oh yeah, Beetlejuice, right? Beetlejuice is WB, right? I think, or he got bought out by, or whatever, wherever he originally came from, he got bought out by WB somewhere. I don't know. King Kong, Legendary Godzilla, right? But they probably have to like talk to Toho about that. Like King Kong,
like no.
Yeah, King Kong. Yeah, I mean we have King Kong fight Iron Giant. You know. What else? I'm trying to think of all the stuff that appeared in Space Jam 2, because there's a lot of stuff. Yeah, all the Hanna-Barbera stuff you can think of. Space Ghost, right? That's one of them. And then what if they bring in Brack? Remember Brack? What was the I forget the Mantis guy's name. What was his like?
Oh, Zorak.
Zorak, thank you. It started with a Z. I remember. Zorak could be like a funny one. But what if it was like the Space Ghost, Coast to Coast persona, not the actual like Space Ghost.
Space Ghost.
Yeah, like actual Space Ghost characters, but like the ones from Coast to Coast. Like they're kind of like self-aware, you know, because I feel like that's the more popular versions of Space Ghost, Brack, and Zorak. Like that would be pretty fucking funny. Yeah, I mean we can definitely go on about this, but yeah, we definitely should get a move on at this point. Unless you have anything else you can think of. Any like unique ones anyway.
At the moment.
At the moment, yeah. There's a lot, man. If you
Yeah.
Like yeah, if you take a look at the Space Jam 2, I think it's still under. Like you can just look at the background during the basketball game, quote unquote, air quotes. You can definitely see like all the possibilities. Because that movie is just like one giant flex of HBO Max, basically. Like, look at all these characters we got.
Hey, look at all our IP that
I know,
we're
exactly.
actually not fucking using.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah. I think now that I think about it, though, I think technically stuff from BattleBots could make it into multiverses. I think that'd be pretty fucking funny if that's the case. Because remember, WB and Discovery, the merger is gonna happen. So we could probably see some Discovery stuff. So maybe technically, if that's the case too, we could see Adam Savage and Jamie Heineman from Mythbusters, the Mythbusters stuff. Although I don't think they'll include everyone because, you know, Grant Imahara, you know, who, you know, unfortunately passed away too soon. But yeah, I mean, it's possible. It's definitely possible. So I'm gonna say, oh, and then remember Mike Rowe from Dirty Jobs? Remember that guy?
He's the announcer.
Oh, that'd be pretty cool, actually. He does have a nice voice. I'll give him that. All right, enough of that. I know there's a lot of possibilities, but we gotta get a move on. I know I'm like holding us back. So anyway, although from here on out, I mean, it's kind of extra news from here, except for a couple of ones here and there. But anyway, did you see this, Zawa, for the library of the PlayStation Plus stuff that they're gonna push into this new plan, I guess? So here's a giant list right here. I don't know if you like took a deep look into this, but according to most people anyway,
According to what is it called? Valid sources.
yeah, right. Oh, trust me, I know, but no, I mean, but
like my uncle works at Sony.
yeah. Well, according to most people in the comments anyway, while expressing this with spite, they said that this is just all the stuff you've seen already from PlayStation Now. Like, it's nothing new. It's nothing like revolutionary. A lot of this stuff too is, well, this is a PS4 section, granted, but if you look at all the old games, I think it's here. Where's I mean, there's Ninja Storm 4. But where's Siphon Filter? Oh, I think it's the classic ones, of course. Yeah, this is like not really much to it when it comes to the classic titles. Like, look at this. It's like fucking tiny comparing to all the other new stuff, or the recent stuff, I should say. I mean, yeah, there's Ape Escape, Dark Cloud 1 and 2, Hot Shots Tennis, Jack and Daxter. Well, Jack 2, 3. There's the racing one. Jack and Daxter. Let's see. That's pretty much it. And then there's PS3 stuff with
via streaming, which I fucking hate.
Yeah, via streaming. So you don't really technically are not playing it. Tokyo Jungle though. That's the one with, like, you can play.
That's the one you play animals or in a post-apocalyptic world.
Yeah, I was about to say. That's okay. That's a okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
I played it. It was interesting.
It was interesting. Yeah. I remember watching Max play it for a little bit, and then I don't know, nothing else happened. But it is interesting to say the least. Like, you can pick like a Shiba Inu and like a bunch of animals or other animals, right? It's very, like you said, like interesting. Motor Storm, there's Infamous 1 and 2, Infamous Festival of Blood, I guess. Ico or Eco, Hot Shots Golf, of course, Demon's Souls. That's about it. I mean, oh, and there's Shura's Wrath. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but it's not. But you cannot play. You know, you're not really playing it. You're streaming.
You're streaming the game. Yeah, it's weird. It's such a weird concept. Lost Planet 2, Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, Red Dead Redemption, Undead Nightmare, and there's some like time trials they could do too for certain games, like Forbidden West, Uncharted Thieves Collection or Legacy of Thieves Collection, Cyberpunk, Farming Simulator 2022, Tiny Tina's Wonderland, Tina Tiny, yeah. WWE
Tiny Toons.
Tiny Toon.
Tiny
Oh,
Toons.
Tiny Toon. That could be another one.
Tiny
for...
Toons, Tina,
Yeah.
Wonderland.
Yeah. Or no, Toonland. There you go. You gotta get all the T's in there.
Toon World.
Toon World. Mm-hmm.
You just see Maximilian Pegasus like, hello.
Yep. Oh, I wonder if the anime stuff could make it into Multiversus, right? Because well, maybe technically they can't do that, but it's in HBO Max, so maybe they have like enough rights to do that. I don't know. They could maybe they could get away with it. Maybe if they work some sort of deal out. Like, oh yeah, anime is popular, so we gotta include some of the anime characters in there under the WB umbrella. But anyway, we have WWE 2K22 as part of that collection too when it comes to game trials. But of course, that's only if you get the premium or extra premium / deluxe edition, right? So you can't even access to all this stuff unless you pay more. If you have the regular one, the essential version, or I think it's called, it's like you just pay for online basically. I don't think there's anything else much to it other than the free monthly games. It resumes as were, the usual, that sort of stuff. That's about it. I don't know. What do you think? What do you think of the selection so far?
Shitty.
Yeah, I mean, it's nothing really it's just even like looking at from outside in, like look at the classic titles. Like it's like tiny. Like there's so much more to it.
It's like, and again, it's like, and these companies wonder why. I hate to bring it up. People fucking ROM the damn games.
Yeah, the emulate it. Yeah,
They don't want to. They don't want to fucking give. It's like, why don't you just buy the game? Because some of these things don't exist anymore.
I know, you can't.
They are up the ass. I ain't gonna throw $500 right now for a game that I really want to play.
Yeah. Yep. There's a emulation for PlayStation 3. There's emulation for I think 4 as well. So.
Yeah, so that's why it's like, how is this possible? Like, emulators are able to do what these companies don't want to do. It's like, you're making it. It's like Sony, Nintendo. You're making it sound like it's rocket science.
Yeah, it's like impossible.
You have average Joe in his basement going like, just doing this. 2, 3, and it works.
I know, right?
I just have to change this one little code.
I know.
Just have to change this code. It's like,
and now you can emulate like every fucking PS3 game in existence, including all the classic, like, or the not classic, but like, you know what I mean, like the niche cool titles and everything, like the Gundam games or something like that, or I don't know, like all the Japanese shit that didn't come over here. You know what I mean? So like, there's so much you could do, and you don't have to pay for it.
And then it's also like, I said time and again, like, we don't need it to be like revamped or anything. Just some of us just want to play it. Yeah,
just get like clean it up a little bit, but like it could be just like the just up-res it. That's it, and then make it playable at 1080p or whatever, right? And then that's it. You don't gotta be like 4K. Who cares if it's at 4K? Those games are not built for 4K anyways. So it's like, I
mean, for me, it's like I don't need it to be 1080p. Just leave it at 720.
Or 720. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
It's like, to me, if you res it up too much, it loses its appeal of what it was before.
Right.
Just keep it. You keep it with how it was, and it's like, what? I like it.
What do you know? Yeah.
Again,
it's a start, I guess. I don't know. I would like to see more from it, but if they don't do enough, it's like, what's the point? I'm just gonna emulate it anyway. Especially with all this like no backwards compatible nonsense. They just wanted to make a service out of it, man. That's all. They knew all along. They had it all planned out and stuff. They were gonna make a service out of it to get more money from us. That's how it works nowadays. Everything's gotta be a fucking service that you gotta subscribe to. I mean, I hate to bring it up, but like there was that whole thing with like I forget his name, but I think it was that one politician. I think it was like Ajit Pai, and he was the one who tried to like endorse what do you call no net neutrality thing, where each company can control the internet pretty much, right? Like to their liking, essentially. That's in layman's terms. What they could do after that too is like throttle their own speeds to their liking. They can't follow, they don't have to follow government rules, that sort of thing. While I think that did eventually happen technically, but I think like each state has kept net neutrality anyway for most states anyway. But also what came in between that whole situation too, I don't know if you remember this, but another idea that came from like major companies is that each major social media platform, or just platform in general, was going to be separated with subscription stuff. So let's say, you know, you like going on Twitter and YouTube, right? You would have to get that separately in a subscription package of sorts. That's what Ajit Pai was going to try to endorse. And so, you know, a lot of people didn't like it because, you know, we don't want to pay for all that stuff separately. We kind of just all wanted to pay for one package. But here's the funny thing, that is that even if it didn't pass, look what's happening now. Like there's so many other like subscription services that like try to like be like, oh, we got this stuff, so you should subscribe to it. So like there's a lot of just like subscription shit nowadays. You know, there's a Game Pass, there's this now with PlayStation Plus, whatever, right? And then there's Netflix, there's HBO Max, there's Disney Plus, Paramount Plus, Hulu, you know what I mean? And then even YouTube is starting to like, or a while back they started their own subscription type of things, like, oh, if you get YouTube Premium, you don't have to look at ads or something like that, right? It's crazy, man. Like even Twitter has like some sort of subscription service thing, like with Twitter Blue, if anyone remembers that. So it was good. I guess it was going to happen anyway, like with where a lot of stuff is going to be just separated with these subscription plans. And you know what's even crazier? Apple was thinking about having the iPhone as a subscription service too. So one could think like, well, isn't that what you do already with like the lacing and stuff like that? But there's essentially a phone that you'll never own if this passes through, of course, because it's all subscription based. So it's like, it's so ridiculous of what they're gonna do with all this subscription service sort of monetization sort of stuff across the board, you know. I mean, and you know, and of course, it's not just those things too, like, you know, grocery shopping, you know, online grocery shopping, you know, Amazon Prime, the what do you call, Instacart, DoorDash, well, I don't think. Well, is that a subscription thing? I don't know. I think it might be like a what do you call, a per order basis. But I think they have some sort of like subscription plan for those major ones, like, you know, Uber and stuff like that, right? So that you could, quote unquote, save money. So either way, there's a lot of subscription services out there already, whether, you know, net neutrality was in place or not, or was ever in place. It was gonna happen basically, man. I mean, I'm pretty sure you've made sort of some sort of observation, like a lot of these things are going to be locked behind a subscription service. Anime, of course, can't forget that. You know. So, yeah. There's a lot of subscription stuff, man. And back to here, yes, of course, classic gaming, man. That's behind a subscription service. Sucks. But it's, oh man, it's becoming a thing more and more. So that is what it is for this one. I think that's it for the frontline side of things. Now we can definitely move on to the games news. When actually we're hour and a half so far, so we're looking pretty good. So anyway, there's just one thing I wanted to bring up for Apex Legends news, and it's more on the mobile side of things. But I wanted to talk about this character who only is available for mobile right now, but I have a feeling they're gonna bring him in for, you know, the actual Apex Legends. His name is Fade, I guess, and his tactical, I guess, it says here, Fade's suit allows him, or Fade's suit rips him backwards through another dimension, phasing him into his previous location. So basically, kind of plays like like Wraith almost. Yeah, and then Phase Chamber, I think that's the alt. Fade throws an activator core from his suit. The resulting explosion phases everyone within the radius for a few seconds, making them unable to deal or receive damage.
Actually, his flashback is more of Tracer.
You're right. I mean, I was thinking
But
of
the phase.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
But the phase chamber seems like, just imagine you have like, I want to say 4 teams left, right?
Yeah.
Including yourself. Each one has this guy in it.
Yeah.
They all pop this ult right there.
What happens?
like-
Yeah.
It's like,
Or not even at the same time, like, you know, one by one, right? So, oh, you can't receive damage. Oh, you can't receive or deal damage. Oh, you can't do damage. Oh, you can't do damage. Like, can you imagine that for like 4 fucking times in a row? You know what I mean?
wait. I wonder if this would work on rings.
Right. Yeah, maybe that's
Probably not.
Probably
Probably
not,
not because remember back in the EO days of Apex,
oh, okay.
Lifeline stock. Oh, we're in the ring. Plop.
Yeah.
It's like that. Plop.
Yeah.
Thank you, Doc.
Mm-hmm. Right, I remember hearing about that her healing was really good. But not so much now. Well, when you're in a ring. Or yeah, and when you're outside the ring, I should say. But yeah, this maybe this could apply. Like, does this only apply to gun damage, or like, you know, gun and melee damage, or like any damage, right? For the phase chamber. Maybe it is something for the ring. Maybe he's really good for like those situations. I don't know. But his passive, I guess, it says gains short movement speed boost at the end of his slide. Okay. Kind of like what's her face? Bangalore when she gets shot at, right? Except this is a slide, involving with a slide. So wait, is it like? Oh, okay. So it's like a short burst. So maybe, I guess it could be after slides every time. So he's probably really good for that. Because it's mobile, right? I mean, can't really control well in mobile in comparison to on console and PC. So maybe that's why they designed this character, because it's hard to move around on mobile in comparison to all the other systems. So maybe he is made just for mobile. But if he does come to Apex Legends in general, probably they'll like adjust around his kit a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. He'd be kind of overpowered, though, if his phase chamber works outside the ring. Because, I think even Newcastle's, from the footage I've seen, people use his ult for like, so let's say like you're far behind, and then you have a teammate or rando that's like super far ahead, like during the when the ring is closing in. you could possibly target your teammate with your ult and just like use that as a mobility thing, so that way you can catch up to your teammate instantly. And then I think you can also target your teammates when they're trying to recover their banner. So I've seen footage where he like this Newcastle, they like this crazy rotation, and I think the ring was like what, round 2 or 3, and even with that he was able to make this like big old rotation and grab the banner because he used the Newcastle ult to like just jump towards the boxes or whatever. So that already sounds pretty overpowered, but if this guy can like negate the ring damage, holy shit. That sounds right. I mean, he'd be really good for ranked if that's really the case, right? So I don't know. Maybe he is just for mobile. I think probably stay there for the better. So I don't know. What do you think?
I don't know. Right now, looking at the difference between, because I've been like looking at like the opposites of console PC versus the MOBA mobile game of Apex. Holy shit. The mobile version sounds a little bit more broken. And
yeah,
fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, Lifeline still has her dock shield, and it's like,
right. It's the old it's the old version of some of the characters at least, right? So it's weird that that's a thing in mobile.
Yeah, so it's like, why? Just bring that over. Like, it's not broken now. There are legends that can just counter that so easily. So why are you so scared to bring it back? Is it because, I don't know, we took it away, we don't want to play the whole like, not shielding, what was it called, cop out? I don't know. Like, they don't want to like go backwards, like,
yeah. I mean, plus we have Newcastle, so it's like, I don't know, makes him less unique. They just decided to put down on another character. They just try to make a new character out of that whole thing. Because I don't know, man. I don't know how they're gonna design characters in the future. I don't know what they could do besides bringing this guy for the console and PC. I mean, there's still some characters in line when it comes, if you pay attention to the lore. I forget that old guy's name that's like in the loading screens, but I think he could make it in there. I feel, as a character. I don't know what he would do, but that's one. But yeah, definitely gameplay wise, I don't know how they could, be a creative, continue to be quote unquote creative, keep the game fresh. And I don't know how often they would, like, from this point on, include new characters, because I don't know if they're gonna do that every fucking new season. So I don't know. Kind of hard to say. There's been word that they're gonna do less frequent characters, or less frequently put out new characters for each season. And if they do put out such characters, it would try to make them more support oriented, at least for the time being. But who knows? Who knows? All right, quick bit of news right here involving Fall Guys. It's going to be, wow, why is this it's a stream, that's why.
It's a stream.
It's a stream, yeah, stream. So anyway, Fall Guys is going to be free to play, and it's actually coming to other systems like Nintendo Switch and Xbox. Well, actually, it's let me see. I'll try to like keep it like low.
Fall Guys really holds a special place for all of us, and the game has come so far, further than we ever really expected.
Wait, is that MTash?
The wall. It's a very good feeling.
Hold on. Oh, never mind. That's not it. No. It looked like MTash from like far away, but it's a really tiny thumbnail. Anyway, it's going free to play and is like finally coming to the Switch, I think. I don't know if it is now, but well, it's going free to play. I feel like it should have been free to play in the first place, because I think it was 20 bucks when it first came out, which I did buy it on PC. So maybe for those people can get some sort of like reward for it. I hope so.
Which is essentially a
Oh, there's Xavier Woods.
supercharged version of the season pass that we've done in our previous seasons. It's
But
gonna
I
be
only
probably 100
don't
tiers
think there's like
long,
really anything extravagantly new.
full of really awesome stuff.
Other than, oh yeah, we'll just have new courses and stuff like that. And I think for like the costumes, there's another Godzilla collaboration coming up with Mega Godzilla, King Ghidorah, and Mothra costumes for your fall guy or whatever. So I think that was on Twitter, but yeah, that's all there is to it. I mean, I don't know if you have any comment about this this bit right here. Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I tried Fall Guys. I didn't really
Get into it.
got into it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, understandable. I mean, it was a bit of a nightmare at some points because the connection issues were.
Yeah. I remember it was one of the. I'm gonna call them mini games.
Yeah.
It's the one that had all the layers.
Oh yeah,
so you
yeah,
could
yeah, yeah,
jump.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was like down to the final like 5.
Yeah.
And then it's like dunk, dunk. It was like a second of disconnect. And then all of a sudden I see my character fall down. Like,
That's not fun.
I'm like, hello?
Yeah.
And mind you, I was playing it on the
PlayStation?
at the time. Yeah, on the PlayStation. I think it was my so I don't know, it was on my PlayStation and it was
Plugged in.
there was an
yeah.
ether.
Yeah,
there was,
Ethernet.
There was an Ethernet plug. And then all of a sudden it was like I was like, wait, this shouldn't have happened.
Not to mention too, early on there's a lot of hackers in Fall Guys. That's why that definitely turned me off quite a bit. So that's why I left. I winded up not playing it because people were cheating like on PCs. Like what the hell? Like really? That's not fun. Because like they had like speed mods on. Like it's like what the fuck? You're really gonna do that for a game like this, man? Jesus. What's going on in your life for you to do that?
I know it's like when you see that, it's like, how bad are you at video games?
I know. How bad is your life?
And I'm gonna call them kids. Like you could be like a fucking grown ass adult, but if you do shit like that, it's like, how bad do you suck at video games, kid?
I know, right? Even just like average kids are probably better than them, like in life. Like, you know what I mean? Like they can think for themselves better than the people who cheat in this game. Well, anyway, it's coming free to play June 21st. This is from Nibelian, of course. So yeah, it'll include for the Switch versions and Xbox versions. It's crossplay, which is actually pretty great. Cross progression, which is nice cherry on top. There's a legacy pack, I guess, for pre-register rewards. So I think that's what it sounds like to me. The people who paid $20 for it in the past are going to get some sort of reward for it. Of course, there's new levels, new costumes. Of course, that's a given. And I guess that's the stats for the Xbox versions. Let me see. I think there's like, oh, there you go. There's the Mega Godzilla costume right there. So it kind of gives you an idea of what the future collaboration costumes are going to be like for right now. I think there was one. I feel like he has, or this account has, the other picture for the rest of the costumes. But yeah, you know, you get the point. You know, they still have the Godzilla collaboration stuff and what have you. So,
which again, like, speaking of another Godzilla collaboration. Oh wait, do we have it in the docket? Before I jump in.
oh, are you gonna talk about Call of Duty?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can go ahead and talk about it. I mean, what's going on, or what do you have in mind?
I'm like on the same boat with Matt McMuscle. It's like, huh, that's nice. It's not gonna get me to play it. And then,
Yeah, right.
like,
yeah.
When Fall Guys showed the
costume,
you know, this costume, now I'm again in the same boat with Matt McMuscle going like, yeah, nope.
Yeah.
Like, you're white knuckling it. It's like, yep, nope.
Mm-hmm.
You can't get me, Satan.
Right.
It's like, not today.
What if in Fate Grand Order you can summon Godzilla as your servant?
You can. It's the T-Rex priestess that came out, like, pretend that she cut.
That's in JP, right? So I remember that.
No, she's out now.
Wait, in NA?
Yeah, NA. The T-Rex priestess came out.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I have her.
You have her? Oh.
She's MP3.
Wow. Okay, I thought that was a JP thing. Okay. Show me. I want to see this. Okay.
Loading.
Yeah.
And then my screen freaking breaks after me doing that.
I know, right?
Menu. Is it formation? Yeah, see?
Oh wow, you're right. It's blurry, but I recognize yeah, silhouette or whatever. Yeah, I would definitely recognize it. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Confirmed. Dino Priestess is a thing, or is it Dino Miko? It's kind of funny. Actually hilarious. All things considered.
Let's see. But when you're saying, what if Fate Gold was in Fall Guys, I'm like, yeah, nope. Get this skin of King Hassan. I'm like, hey.
Oh no, I was gonna say, like, if Godzilla was in Fate Grand Order, you would like sink in.
Yeah.
You probably sink in money.
I was thinking money, but if it was like Fate Grand Order made up
in Fall Guys, but
Fall Guys, and it's like, yeah, okay, Fate Grand Order, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
King Hassan skin is like, hey,
yeah.
They broke me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I need to get the skin.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
They got me.
Mm-hmm. That's pretty much. That's it. That's
Yeah, but
sealed.
They'll be like,
Sealed.
then you realize, oh, how much money? Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, no, seriously, how much? Yes.
I mean, I looked at the footage for Call of Duty, like the event, and it's neat. I mean, you know, you have Godzilla in the background, you can attack him for intel, and like, same with Kong, he throws rocks, and then Godzilla throws out the beam. People can die from it, right? It's pretty funny. And then yeah, these have the costume pieces for each character, guns and all, you know. I think they even have Mecha Godzilla thrown in there too as a costume thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's neat, but I mean, I'm not gonna download it because that shit's still 125 gigs, man. At least. I think it's like a little more than that. I think it was like 140, man. That's fucking nuts.
I mean, I could be like an asshole and just tell you, but then why did you buy this?
Right.
What is this for?
Right, but I'm not gonna waste 125 gigs for that. Like,
gigs of a terabyte for that. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd rather just get. That's like 2 games at least, man. At least of space.
Yeah, that's why. That's why again the Call of Duty joke is always like, I'm gonna dedicate this one SSD
For
for
Call of Duty.
Why? It's like why? Because.
Yeah. Not to mention, right? Like each update is like fucking huge too. So it's like, fuck, man.
Yeah, which again, it's like, do you? It's like,
Can you compress? Do you know how to compress? Yeah. You know what compression
not-
means?
or do you not know how to overwrite a fucking like old files? You know? No? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know
Sucks to
what
be you.
I don't know what the issue is, man. Like all these games, like Apex Legends, like what? It's like 60 gigs. Okay, right? That's whatever, right? It's I think it's like 50, 60, whatever. Maybe 70 at the most. And that's like the PS5 version because it's 4K. But like
now I'm curious. Let me.
yeah. Meanwhile, yeah, it's so like that's just mind-boggling. How do you like not take care of that shit at this point?
We're a big ass company. We still don't know how to fucking compress our files.
Mm-hmm. Instead, we're just pumping out more Call of Duties and whatever. Money. I don't know.
Yeah, it's like. It's like it's like how many gigs do you have? Why? We're taking it all.
Yeah, right. That's just fucking crazy, man.
Information.
And that's just Warzone alone. That's just Warzone. It's not like, oh, it's Warzone and a campaign mode for whatever Call of Duty game. That's just Warzone.
Okay, so Apex Legends is the PS5 on the PS5 version.
Yeah.
It's 56.6 gigabytes.
Damn. That's just wild.
I want to see how much Guilty Gear is.
Shit, don't
18
even.
gigs.
That's like nothing. It's like 12 gigs, right?
No, it's 18.
Oh, it's 18. Oh, yeah, well, still fucking close.
Horizon Zero, the holy crap.
How much is Zero Dawn? Or
Horizon Forbidden West is 89 gigs. Holy crap.
That's a big game, though. I mean, it's an actual big game, single player. It looks nice.
Actually, no, I have a game that can top it.
Oh,
2 FF Remake. This is including the DLC.
right. How much is that? Or how big is it?
90 gigs.
So okay. That's crazy, man.
Yeah, I'm like looking at my entire library right now. Like, who is the fattest right now?
Mm-hmm. I think Gran Turismo right now is my biggest game in terms of storage alone. And that's like maybe 70 to 90 gigs or something like that.
Oh, we can do this. Storage. In total, for all the games that I have on this system, for console storage, is 166.4 gigs has
Jeez.
been used. For the SSD,
Uh-huh.
I used 254 gigabytes. Focus on this store. Oh, Miles, Godfall. Oh, okay, so all the games that I don't play that much anymore is on my storage,
Uh-huh.
and all the games that I frequently play is on the console. Okay, it's coming back to me now.
Uh-huh.
Of where everything is saved.
Right.
These things suck.
Anyhow, that's pretty much it for what we're talking about. Fall Guys. Yes, Fall Guys.
Fall Guys makes the tangents.
Yes. Well, it's kind of a tangent-heavy show today because not quite else has happened besides the fighting game stuff. Yeah, that's the Nibelian stuff. Okay, so I want to talk about this briefly as I can, but it's kind of worth mentioning because you know, it's Genshin, big game, you know. 2.7 is now on the way. The lockdown in Shanghai looks like has been, or at least in China, has been easing up quite a bit. I think the what do you call? HoYoverse is now on the whitelist, right? So they're the first ones to come back and do their daily routines, because I guess maybe there's some priority with like essential quote unquote workers, right? Because you know, money. But don't quote me on that. So yeah, so that's coming back, and so with that, there was a new character announced with Shikanoin Heizo. This guy.
Why does this child look like he's the brother of I keep forgetting his freaking name, the Earth guy?
Zhongli?
Yeah. He looks like a younger cousin for him.
Younger cousin.
I guess it's
maybe because his pants and well, the color. Yeah, the colors. That's yeah. I mean, outfit. Yeah, I guess, but kind of reminds me of someone else. I can't put my finger on it, but anyway, that's a new character. That's gonna be coming up for likely 2.8 rather, because there was already other new characters that was supposed to be announced for 2.7, but because of the delay, we haven't seen those just yet. So instead, we've had the same banner for like what, several weeks, which was Ayaka, and so yeah, that was just one character. I think he's gonna be just a 4-star character, so not too huge there, but still something. And along with that, we have an official announcement of an announcement. So they're gonna have a special program or stream. By the time, well, it's already been done by the time this episode comes out, but yeah. So, but point being, things are going back to normal for HoYoverse, and so we can expect the update to be coming soon-ish now. It is coming. So for those who have been waiting so anxiously, it is coming. So don't worry. We have to understand why, and that's because of the lockdown in China, of quarantine and such for the pandemic, because we're still in the pandemic and the cases were rising, and China was like taking it to the extreme. I guess it was like super extreme to the point where like people weren't allowed to go out, and officials had to actually deliver food to them. That's how bad it was. I don't know how much you kept up with it, but that's what I heard, so that's what I know. It was pretty extreme. I don't know if like the games you play or like anyone else or like your friends or people who you follow have talked about it, but anything else like you know about the lockdown or anything like that? Okay.
Not really.
Okay. But yeah, it definitely affected Genshin for sure, because you know they're a Chinese company, and yeah, that's why we had this pretty long delay. But you have to understand why that was the thing. But nonetheless, it is coming. And if you take a look at these two characters, which is Yelan and Arataki Ito, that is pretty much meaning those banners are going to come up for those two characters. So yeah, people have been saying that Xiao was going to make a comeback for a rerun banner, but I don't know. Now that these two have been hinted or shown up here on this image, it looks like it's going to be Arataki Ito and Yelan for the upcoming banners, for a dual banner at that too. But we'll see. We'll see what gets announced and stuff like that. That could all change, just like that.
In a heartbeat.
In a heartbeat, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Well, I'll definitely keep an eye out for that one. And yeah, that is pretty much the gist of it. So anyway, I think that's pretty much it, right? For the new stuff, yeah, new character, yeah. At least they're doing some decent compensations. They have been providing us with resin. They have been providing us with some Freemo gems. for each week, and even like the Serenity Pot currency. They've been giving us a lot of that, so we can actually use that for like more books, more resin, more just money in general, or Mora currency. So that's kind of nice. So that's it on that one. And now we can take a gander at this piece of news for Godzilla vs. Kong. The legendary version, of course.
The movie, kids, not COD.
Yeah, not COD. The movie, the sequel, more specifically, is confirmed to be directed by the same director from before, Adam Wingard, or Wingard, excuse me, Wingard. And I guess it's going to start. Sorry, what were you gonna say?
I was like, no, you're right. Wind.
Yeah.
He's a windbird.
Yeah.
Whoosh.
I guess Dan Stevens is confirmed to be playing one of the leading roles for the film. I'm not entirely familiar with this name, just from the name alone. But let's see. Let's check it out. Oh, he from England.
He from England.
Yeah, that's all I know so far.
What was that?
I don't know.
He from England.
He from England. I don't know. Oh, he was in the live-action version of Beauty and the Beast.
He was Beast.
Oh, he was a Beast. Okay. Okay, so you are kind of familiar with this actor, I guess. So, he was in Night in the Museum, or Night at the Museum, as Sir Lancelot. Anything else? Let's see. Not so much. Not a huge like actor, but that had some big roles. Which was, Beauty and the Beast. That's a lot of like other stuff too, so probably that's why you don't really see him as much in film specifically. There's a lot of like audiobook and radio and stage stuff, so yeah, theater actor. But yeah, we will be in Godzilla, so that's kind of neat. So it's pretty, in the same director, so we'll definitely, you're guaranteed to have like that same sort of like flavor, that we've sort of seen from the first Godzilla vs. Kong. So hopefully, though, he could try to like make up for like what was the shortcoming for the first film, like the writing, right, the dialogue, and like the pacing, with the humans, and like you know what I mean, try to give like more time for the monsters, that sort of thing, the kaiju, or the titans, excuse me.
No, kaiju, we are we love Godzilla. We call all of our
right. Even Pacific Rim honors that, right? So yeah, I don't know.
But yeah, with the first movie, there was a lot. Like, Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you remind yourself, it's like, you know what? This is not far off of what Toho does with Godzilla, putting a lot of like human elements into the
That's
movie.
True. Yeah.
So it's like you're not off, but you're not right either.
Right. Especially, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they did. I mean, because like they did that in the past because all the stuff with the rubber suits and stuff like that. It's expensive to to operate with because they get wear and tear. The person,
some are put like in grave danger.
Yeah, because the fire.
Live fireworks fucking flying at them is like.
Yeah. Yeah,
like,
dude.
I remember watching YouTuber that I love his YouTube videos of he kind of does like he makes fun of like old
Oh, kind of like a mystery science what was it called? Yeah, mystery science theory or something like that.
Brandon Tenold.
Okay.
His Godzilla videos makes me laugh a lot, and also he brings up like good points. Like that rocket went straight to his head. How is he not on the ground? It's like,
Right. Well, if are you talking about Godzilla's face or the actual where the actual head is?
The actor's face is here,
like the neck. Yeah.
Yeah, but the head's here. But again, there's like a rocket going straight into Godzilla's head, and then there's explosions happening everywhere. It's like you gotta give to these suit actors. Like, goddamn.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially with the heat they have to deal with already. So
that's why I believe the actors that portray Godzilla lost a lot of pounds because they'd be sweating.
Oh yeah, for sure. They lost a lot of water weight for sure. For sure. Yeah.
So that's why, like, for me, like watching tokusatsu shows like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai.
Yeah.
It's like, wow, look at all these flippities and dippities and all these suit actors does. And then you watch like behind the scenes, like,
yeah, they're all like super sweaty and stuff, right? I'm sure, or like
well, there was like one scene, like they're on a scaffolding.
Yeah.
And the main Super Sentai had to do a flip over it. At the bottom, there was the landing pad, right?
Yeah.
And then I guess props of boxes.
The
guy missed the landing pad and landed on the boxes and then rode onto it. And I was like, but he was like, okay, I'm ready. Next one. I was like, are you human?
Yeah, I know, right?
You fell from a scaffolding, landed on those props, then you got onto the actual landing pad, and now you're spring back to life.
Well, those props probably broke his fall, but they probably broke. Like, so that's it. Yeah. That's it for the props.
So that's why I'm like, to me, I'm like looking at Japan's stunt team.
Yeah.
And then looking at America's, it's like,
well, God. I mean, I don't know, right? Like who knows why?
Who knows? But still, it's like when you kind of compare them, it's like, I get it. You want to keep your stunt team like safe and stuff with so many pads and stuff. Here's Japan. Here, you're wearing spandex and a freaking helmet. Good luck.
Yeah.
Push.
I've been hearing a lot of stories lately about stunt actors in American, at least on the Western side of things, like trying to like get compensation or like some sort of like like they're trying to fight back because of how fucked they get in the industry because of how sort of Hollywood treats them or production treats them a lot of times, especially with I think it was like what Marvel or like one of the Marvel films. Someone got like one of the actors the stunt actors got injured and they can't do stunts anymore, so they try to get compensation or royalties or something like that, whatever, so it's quite a tough industry, but I guess in Japan like at least they do some things right in a way to try to prevent any injuries. But I mean, who knows what happens behind the scenes, right? It could be what if it was just all the actors' fault, right? You never know. I mean, they've only shown one side of the story, so it's like, is it fair to just judge it that way? I don't know, but if it happens frequently with like different stunt actors, maybe yeah, it could add up to like Hollywood being neglected towards the stunt actors, and they only put their attention on, of course, the main actors because, well, they're the face, they're the celebrities, right? They bring in the most money. That's sort of thing. So that's why they gave them the royal treatment, while everyone else who actually puts the work and blood and sweat and tears into it, it's like, well, where's our treatment? So a little bit off topic, but yeah, anyway, Godzilla. All right. The whole topic was, well, why is it that the monster scenes are shorter than and they put a lot of emphasis on the humans, and my theory, at least anyway, we're pretty much talking about it, was that because of the practical effects and the nature and the cost and the stress that could happen behind that, that's why they have these human scenes for the older ones anyway. But with this, right, because it's all CG, does that excuse that now? I don't think so, but maybe it's hard to do CG for a long time or whatever to like make it all work for a long time, especially if you want to make it all good quality and everything. But then again, it's like you have CG films, right? But cartoons are easier to animate and stuff like that and render and stuff than realistic sort of things. I don't know. There could be a lot of arguments going back and forth, like, oh, CG is just as hard, but just in different ways as practical effects, because especially if you want to get things right, can you do that for this long time, right? For a long time. Not to mention with if you want to get it done at a time like this, at this time window, if there's a due date for that, that's definitely going to make things a lot harder. So that maybe that's why they have these human actors to try to like compensate and sort of hide that fact that CG is also kind of hard ish, but I don't know, I could be wrong. Right. Now, speaking of CG stuff, there's a lot of discrepancy and mixed feelings about She-Hulk. So, did you watch the trailer for She-Hulk, first off?
Yes.
Yeah, so, what did you think of that? Because there's a lot of
people bashing how she looks because it's not Marvel big movie budget. It's like, I'm fine the way she looks because how I'm seeing it is, which a lot of people are not really seeing it. Marvel Cinematic movies, you have at least top 3 years of development,
right?
Okay,
at least, yeah.
And two of those years is gonna definitely be the CGI, like rendering, touch ups and shit.
Yeah.
Marvel TV show.
Yeah.
You have 1 year, at least. I'm being graceful. I'm not grateful. I'm being like gracious.
Yeah.
1 year at least,
generous,
to make this show. It's like you can't compare the two because one's on a really tight ass budget, and time,
yeah.
While the other one, it does have big budget. It does have
more time,
maybe like more time, and maybe 10 times the amount of people behind the scenes doing CGI.
Yeah, it definitely is possible.
So, but to me, I'm like, she looks good, and some people are going like, look how Gamora looks. You just put makeup instead. It's like, okay, you realize She-Hulk is fucking tall.
She's big, yeah.
Where are you gonna find a 7-foot woman?
Right, not too often. Yeah, and is willing to do stunts and stuff like that here and there too. So, you have to think about.
I mean, we can go back to the EO days. Like how they, not fabricated, but movie magic,
right?
Like, tall people.
Yeah,
we can do that, but then because our eyes and nowadays are able to pick up like that's fake,
right?
I can see you the
illusion, yeah.
So to me, like leaving her like alone like this, it's like, yeah, I'm okay with it.
I think she looks fine, like face wise and stuff like that. I mean, people probably just like put off or off put by the just like her with green skin. Yeah, and like maybe some of the muscle definition stuff could be a little better, but other than that, I'm not like, I don't hate it or anything. I don't have the same feelings that some people have
Yeah, and some people are saying like they need to throw more money into this. It's like money's not gonna fix this. It's called time.
Time and
And
crew.
a team.
Yeah, team, crew. Yeah, you need more people. If there is going to be.
If they and then I read like someone let's all band together and do what we did to Paramount to fix Sonic. Is like
It's not that.
you realize the reason why Sonic looked better is because they had to do crunch time.
Yes.
Are you really saying that you want the animators for this TV show to fucking do crunch time just so she looks better?
Yeah, and then they're gonna complain about, oh, this crunch time. Why did you do crunch time? You know, yeah, it's like,
it's like
you asked for the better She-Hulk, right? Or you asked for better Sonic, you know? I mean, I'm glad they did Sonic. Don't get me wrong and stuff, but yeah.
But I feel sorry for the animators.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because they pretty much had to trash. Because it wasn't like I'm gonna adjust the teeth here, move Sonic's face like this. No, it was a full on like throw this asset away. Let's fucking go ground zero again.
Right. I mean, well,
go ahead. I was saying, and with She-Hulk, again, some people don't realize because I guess they don't dive into animated, like the
basics and stuff. Yeah.
Because someone like brought up like, look how Agents of Shield they made a Ghost Rider so good and everything. Look at this CGI. It's like, honey, when you break it down, it's just a skull and
fire.
Flame
and then the flame.
He has no fucking.
Yeah, then it's just the letters.
Fucking expressions. He's just going like this. Hi guys.
Yeah. And
he has no lips.
Here's another thing.
She-Hulk.
Yeah.
She has a face. Face is the most like
hard.
I will.
Yeah.
Like I congratulate those part of the CGI team that has to work on the face because having like the slight like muscle twitch or the hair follicles or
and the eyes,
the skin, the skin stretching and squishing when you talk.
Yeah.
That is nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, we can use mocap. Is like mocap is only gonna do like 20% of the work.
Right.
Like I've seen like behind the scenes when they do facial expressions for CGI characters. Which you and I would agree. How do we like draw faces? Like atomically correct? We would have a mirror next to us and go like,
yeah, references.
Okay, yeah.
References. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And I've seen it. Like I've seen like 20 people in a line with like mirrors, like making sure like and also reading the lines like I'm going to kick your ass, you know, so they mouth it. I'm going like, it's like again, animating faces is not fucking easy, kids.
Hell, drawing faces alone, like, you know, just a picture, right? Drawing an anime face, not even real face, an anime face looking good. That alone is hard. Like, it's tough. And now imagine doing that for thousands of frames, you know?
Yep. And I love the meme. Like you're drawing like one side so beautiful, then you do a flip. Because in from what I learned during art, how you can see if you're a good artist, you draw half a face and then you flip it because atomically we're supposed to be, you know, if you cut us in half, we're supposed to look the same. So I'm like, okay, let me draw my face, flip it. Oh, why is my eye like?
Right.
Like it's like right side looks good, and then the left side is like appears.
Well,
like,
the thing is
what
that
happened?
Well, the thing is that that works for drawings, right? But if you're trying to model humans, though, humans are actually not atomically symmetrical. So. Yeah, because some the eye is wider. Your one eye is wider than the other. Because whether you're born with that or you got the wrong side of the bed or something like that, you know, there's imperfections, right? And that's what makes us human, right? But if you make it like too correct, then that appears to be like very doll-like or very robot-like. So that's why we kind of get that uncanny valley sort of feeling at times too. That's why, and what I'm trying to lead to too is that modeling female faces in particular too is really hard to make them look good. You know, look NRS, right? The males are very forgiving, but you know, if you look at the females, not so much sometimes. And you know, our old friend Keeters, right, has dealt with sort of a lot of like, you know, drawing and has looked into like modeling too. You know, like female faces are very hard, and especially, you know, if you want to make them really good. That's why, you know, a lot of times with these things, even if it's slightly off, it's like, oh my god, it's so bad or whatever, right? So that's why you have a lot of the naysayers, right, in these sort of situations. Same with Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat gets the same thing. Why do the female faces look weird? You know, blah blah blah. Like, it's hard, man. It's tough. You know, and that's just kind of how it goes. Male faces, very forgiving, because that's just kind of how it is, right? I mean, I don't want to go too much into it, but we tend to forgive how bad male faces tend to look because of, you know, A, B, and C or whatever, right? There's a lot of factors to go into that. That's why with like Bruce Banner, you know, he's also in the film, or excuse me, in the series. No one's talking about him, right? We're all focused on female faces, or the She-Hulk, because that's just how female faces are in CGI. You got to get it right, but it's tough. That's why, again, there's like this whole back and forth thing going on with how She-Hulk looks, and most people are complaining, but I think once we actually start watching the series, I think we can start forgiving it, because we're only going off how it looks, right? If the story is good, which that's only something we can look forward to or see once the series is out, I think we can forgive it for what it is, right? If it sucks, then yeah, that's like it snowballs to this, right? So, but for right now, we can only criticize it for how it looks, and I guess for most people for right now, I guess it looks not good enough. But, you know, you never know, right? I mean, the story itself could be, it's fun. It could be entertaining. It could be good in that sort of sense. And if that's the case, we can forgive it. So, I don't know.
And I'm still, like, laughing at people. Also, like, when the Hulk returned to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, a lot of people wanted the same shade of green that the first Incredible Hulk,
Oh, yeah.
translate. And I'm like, do you know how fucking ugly that green is?
Oh, yeah, people complain about the shade of green in this particular trailer. Yeah, I kind of remember that.
Yeah, but to me, I'm like, there's green, there's, you know, a lot of shades of green, and each one, you gotta be careful with the lighting, because some look fucking horrible, and people are like, well, then just, you know, again, going back to like saying that they wanted the first green shade they saw in the very first Incredible Hulk movie. I'm like, that is an ugly green.
Mm-hmm.
It's so bright.
Yeah.
There weren't any textures. The shadowing on that looks questionable.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, and here again, like in that shot you have of her like holding this,
The phone, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the phone. That whole lighting is a nightmare.
Yeah, man. Lower lighting, man. It's very tricky.
Lower lighting, and also when like even with like big bright lights, like you're outside.
Yeah.
That is also a nightmare, because how much brightness, how much
highlights and stuff.
Highlights, you gotta fucking like go in there and like adjust.
Yes. And then you have the dinner scene.
Yeah, the dinner scene, which is always a low light. Like, yeah, like
it looks good to me. Like again, I give it to
The crew.
production, to the crew. It's like I understand because you guys are on a time crunch,
Yeah, they're already on the crunch as is. It seems like, right? So
and then people saying like, "Oh, it comes out in August, right?" Oh, they have plenty of time from now to August to.
hell no. Did you know
fix
how
her up.
long it
I was like,
fucking?
no.
Yeah. Do you remember how long the new Sonic they took for the new Sonic to come out? It was like next year, right? So like,
Yeah.
it was a whole year, pretty much, whole last year. so
It's just like you're staring. It's like, as you were saying in the beginning, what crew is going to say like, yes, we will crunch time this to make it look good?
right. So yeah, and then again, like people are gonna be bitching about, oh, the crunch time. Why did you do crunch time? Crunch time is terrible. Terrible work culture, whatever. But you're the one
like,
complaining about how she looks. Yeah. Right. So. Yeah. Yeah.
And anyways, if
Go ahead.
and then let's just say, yeah, okay, the show is out, right?
Yeah.
So we definitely know that most of all their TV shows are eventually going to make it to the big screen in like maybe a collaboration. Not collaboration, like a special like Avengers movie.
Yeah.
Or, something to tie everything in. Because look, kids, we just got Daredevil back on the big screen, and now they're making a new Daredevil TV show, which will have some of Netflix's already built lore, but more to tie flow together with the MCU. So it's like see it's like, kids, stop bitching. It's just a TV show. Holy shit, she's gonna have her time to shine on the big screen. Just oh god, just hold it. Matte wait kudasai.
Yeah. Yeah.
ちょっと wait kudasai.
Yeah. ちょっと a minute.
ちょっと hang on a minute kudasai.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't think it looks all that terrible as people have been making it out to be. Could it? I mean, is there room for improvement? Sure, but it's not really more towards like the faces. I think the muscle could be bigger, but maybe she gets bigger in the middle of the show. Maybe she gets mad, right? So we're only seeing her in her initial form, right? So
we're only seeing her, because again, she's trained. From what I gather from the trailer, she's training on an island with Bruce.
Yes.
So maybe during the progression of the show, she gets a little.
She gets bigger, maybe.
Swole.
Yeah.
She gets a little swole, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
And then already they're pulling from the comics, like, She-Hulk gets around, guys. If you don't believe me, pick up a She-Hulk comic. She gets around.
Yeah.
She was in a relationship with Wolverine and Hercules and Thanos' brother. Like she gets around, kids.
Trying to see if I can find a GIF of just anything from the trailer, but not really. I can only find images, but I found this part kind of funny.
Yeah.
The dinner scene and stuff, like take those fries on the go or something.
I swear, every time I see that scene where he's talking to her, he reminds me of someone else, like an actor that I've seen before. Like I've seen you.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that's you.
Right. I don't know. You got me there too, so.
Again, she looks good.
Yeah, it doesn't look bad. I don't think she looks
again,
bad.
Yeah. To which again, to the people saying like they could just use green makeup on her and stuff. It's like, okay, one for like Gamora, because they're comparing to like, look how good this green on Gamora is. Like have you seen the behind like costume department for Gamora? That's like about 8 different shades of green on her,
Yeah.
and she's on a chair for like at least 5 hours.
8 hours at even at times, like
Or 8, yeah. So
Mhm.
it's like, okay, all right. Clearly, again, you haven't been in like the makeup department or watch any makeup tutorial.
yeah.
Or
It's not just one. It's not just one shade of green, man. It's like
yeah, it's not like they just did this, like get a paint bucket of green and go
I know.
done.
Right. Not just like it's not easy as like airbrushing, on Photoshop or something like that. It's like you gotta like touch up.
Well,
like,
even when people like do digital art,
yeah.
wow, this brown is nice, and then when you actually see them, it's like, okay, one shade of brown, okay, get another shade of brown.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
get
No,
another one.
that's
It's like
that's a good point. Especially if you want to go for a really realistic looking like art piece.
Skin tone, like
Skin tone.
Jesus Christ, it's like kids. There's no like green, like this is the green I'm gonna use. It's like, no, this green is gonna be your base color.
Yeah, and then you have to.
You're gonna build on that.
Yeah, you have to like airbrush with like different shades of green in order to like actually put texture and layer.
And then you have to find that right shade of green to like make your highlights like good, because it's not like I'm gonna use this ugly green,
right,
and then I'm gonna use the whitening tool to glow it up. Is like, no, ew.
Yeah, and then like, plus they take like a texture image and then put it over and then like adjust it sometimes, or just make their own textures sometimes too to make it even more convincing and stuff at times. It depends on artist to artist, sure, but how they do things. But point being, man, there's a lot that goes into a piece of art alone. So imagine here, right, and it's moving, right? You have to worry about how they move, not only how they look, but how they move, how they fight,
Yeah, that's why, again, kids, you think animating a CGI face is fucking easy with mocap? Nope.
Yeah, see, now that I talk about it too, like maybe, like you definitely wonder why Godzilla and Kong don't really have much an appearance.
Expressed.
Or yeah, that too, but like,
well, yeah, in the earlier ones, yeah, but with Godzilla vs Kong, there was a lot of expressions that I was like,
I mean, yeah, with
smiling Godzilla made me like, yes,
like laughing Godzilla.
That stupid gremlin smile that he has.
Yeah, that
movie. I was like,
I would never have thought.
I mean, it shouldn't be, but when you think about it, a lot of animals do smile.
Oh yeah, they laugh or smile.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing like
Godzilla
just smile like,
yeah.
like I don't know if I should be terrified or laughing along with you.
Yeah, you're right.
It's just like, ooh.
I like it. I like the.
Yeah, I liked it because because at the end of the day, these kaiju movies, they're dumb. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
Dumb.
Yeah,
they're stupid, dumb, fun.
Yeah, and so keep on being fun. Don't be all gritty and fucking. I mean, granted, like the very first Godzilla was gritty and serious and all that stuff, but
gritty, serious, and you hardly could see shit.
Right, because it was
like they
black
had
and
a
white.
gray filter. No, I meant legendaries.
Oh, legendary, right.
It was gray as shit. Like they had a gray filter, just like.
Oh, it was super gray and brown.
I was like, are we in DC universe? I can't.
Yeah, and then look at
shit.
Yeah, and then look at Legendary Kong or Godzilla vs Kong, right? All the colors and everything, like the city lights.
Yep, the neon cyberpunk city. That was a nice shot. Like each of those set pieces is a wallpaper
for sure.
Like I would love to print that and just hang it on my wall. Like,
yeah.
This scene, I love this scene.
Yeah.
And and then if you come visit me, you'll see like Godzilla's face. Like once you open the door, like hi.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, you'd be like, nope.
Right.
You'd be like, damn, it's all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess going back to Godzilla and all that stuff. Like you kind of wonder why, yeah, you know, they don't include Godzilla and Kong as much. I guess it is because yeah, CG is hard in its own right, you know, in comparison to practical effects. I think it is, and especially with Godzilla, right? I mean, and Kong, they got fur, they got fucking scales, and gotta make it all look right and shit, and all that in between. So that's probably why they include, you know, the humans more than the monsters, because it's hard to do CGI in its own right, man. So I guess it is hard in its own right at the end of the day. And even with you know, trying to model, you know, She-Hulk in such a ideal way, right? Especially being female and all that stuff, right? Like, you know, it's not gonna look perfect, man. But people gotta chill, you know, with that stuff. Like, let's just judge on it when we know what the story is like, the quality and all that stuff of the writing and whatever, and then yeah, because I think that's when we can start forgiving of the sort of shortcomings in the visual department of She-Hulk. But for right now, we can only go off of how it looks, so I think that's why, you know, people are kind of like bashing on it for, you know, for against She-Hulk. So anyway, I think that's pretty much all we can all we got. So it's been what, 2.5 hours now. So yeah, I think that's a pretty good time to end it for today. So, but I guess wrap up for She-Hulk. I want to watch it. I want to check it out. Look forward to it. Let's just make sure we know what this release date is. So hold on. I think it was in August, right? Was it? Oh, oops.
Yeah, I think so. August 17th, I think.
What's the date for that? I try to see on like Disney or Marvel. Oops. Whoops. There we go. Marvel Studios. Okay. August 17th. Yeah, you're right. So
August.
August. Yeah. Oh yeah, and they said Oh, go ahead.
Oh yeah, because I saw Wong.
Yeah, Wong.
I want him to get his own TV show.
Wong.
Just like,
or it was called the Wong
antics.
Or it was called the Wong Factor. That'd be so funny.
Like seriously, I really want to see a Wong TV show. Just him and his antics.
Yep. Or him trying to deal with Doctor Strange.
Yeah, like there should be like, I don't care if there's like no story to it.
Yeah.
Just have Wong like in an everyday situation.
Yeah.
I'll freaking watch the shit out of it. I'll be like,
yeah, that's gonna be like the Cleveland show, man. That's gonna be like the Cleveland show or the Patrick show or whatever. Patrick Star. All those like secondary characters getting their own shows. Hey, maybe it's Wong, man. I watch Wong. Especially I wonder if Wong is gonna train what's his face? Peter Parker's friend.
Pikachu.
Not Pikachu.
Yeah, that's Peter's friend.
Pikachu?
Wait, who's Peter? Who's Peter?
Ah. Yeah. Bit of spoilers,
again,
but you know, whatever, you know.
And again, this man here still hasn't watched Strange 2.
Right. I mean, well, it's only in theaters so far, but I should be able to watch it in July or August, right? So
we hope
so, because you know, Disney Plus.
I mean,
well, I'm sure it'll happen because it's a Marvel film, so there's no Sony behind it.
Unless, what is your Cash App or whatever? I'll give you $20.
No, I'm not going to the theater. I'm not going to the theater.
What's your Cash App so I can give you like $1,000 to rent out the whole entire.
Oh my god, no, that'd be too much. Way too much.
Like why? Like watch it, bitch.
Sheesh. But yeah, I mean, either way, I look forward to She-Hulk, all that stuff, Attorney at Law for Disney Plus. Might as well check it out, along with you know, like Obi-Wan and Miss Marvel, right? I mean, those are coming up pretty soonish. Yeah.
Every time you say She-Hulk Attorney at Law, fucking Harvey Birdman's jingle plays in my head.
Yeah. I wonder if we'll see Daredevil in She-Hulk, because you know they're both lawyers. So
Nah, I rather see Phoenix Wright.
Phoenix Wright.
Or have a lawyer just like looks like him, so it can be
it's like an Easter egg. Yeah, like an Easter egg. That'd be kind of cool.
To the game to Marvel.
Or no, she's playing on the Switch or something, playing Phoenix Wright. That'd be so funny. That'd be great.
Nah, it'll be more funny for ringtone or her alert is objection, and it's Phoenix's voice.
Yeah, like
and it goes off like during a trial.
Yeah, objection. Yeah.
She'll be like, sorry.
Or like the Phoenix Wright theme, whatever, like soundtrack, whatever they use. Yeah, you know, that'd be pretty cool.
Oh, when they go to I forget what it's called, but it's like pretty much when Phoenix goes into his turnabout mode.
Oh, turnabout. Oh.
Yeah, when the music like kicks in.
Oh yeah.
That's her ringtone.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I like it.
Yeah. All right, well, that's it for now. I know we can talk about it for hours and hours, but we gotta put a stop here for right now, and look forward to what's in store for next week. So, unless there's like something else that pops up, but yeah, we'll save it for next time. So, anyways, thank you guys so much. It's been fun once again, and good job, everyone. So, don't forget to like and subscribe, all that fun stuff on YouTube, and yeah. So, again, we'll try to be back for next week. There is definitely stuff to talk about. So yeah. Until then, we'll see y'all in next one. Bye bye.